'em out the way, knock 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 'em out the way. With your head top down for some action.
It is game day in the beautiful Flower City where we have the Scarborough Shooting Stars taking on the Brampton Honey Badgers here inside the CAA Centre. My name is Francisco Pong and I will be your silent reporter for today's matchup. So the last time these two teams met was just last weekend, with Scarborough coming away with the win behind a historic performance from Frank Mitchell, who set a new CEBL record of 22 rounds. But today, Brampton's coming into this game with a little bit of momentum after breaking their losing streak against the Ottawa Blackjacks last Thursday. I had the chance to speak with both coaches ahead of today's matchup. Coach Alex says after the first meeting with Scarborough, his biggest thing is just getting back to the basics and cleaning up little details, especially on the glass after giving up way too many. Meanwhile, Coach Tyrell says what impresses him the most about his Scarborough group is the confidence. But he knows that his guys are going to have to stay composed today against a Brampton team who's on. So this game has all the makings of another high-intensity matchup here for us in the CAA Centre. So to get us started, I'm going to send it over to my guys at the table, Matt and Oren. Guys?
Thank you, Francisca. Happy to have you with the team. I'm Matt Bonomi alongside Oren Weisfeld. And Oren, this is a game that a lot of people in Canadian basketball have had circled on their calendar. The Brampton Honey Badgers, the second team in the East, taking on the top dog in the East, the Scarborough Shooting Stars. You want to talk about top talent. You're about to see it today on the court.
Yeah, I've been circling it on my calendar for a long time. This has been the one that early in the season you can look at and see this was going to be a good one. You have Scarborough in the building. You have one of the best crowds Brampton's had all season, and a lot of the top players playing in this one. It should be a really good one.
All right, let's take a look at the matchup stats for this game between the top two teams in the Eastern Conference. And as you can see there, the Scarborough Shooting Stars not afraid to score the basketball, 95 points per game. That's going to be a problem on the offensive end, or I should say the defensive end for Brampton today.
Yeah, you almost have to play a perfect game to beat the Scarborough team the way that they're rolling right now, right? The best record in the league. They've only lost 2 games, and those 2 losses were by 2 points each. So they could be 15-0, as you said to me earlier. It's going to take a really good effort from Brampton to do it, but hey, it's possible.
And Brampton really going to need to jump on the board. Scarborough first in the CEBL in rebounds per game with 44. And the man that is in charge of drawing up that defensive plan to stop the Shooting Stars is Brampton head coach Alex Serta. He's standing by with Francisca.
Coach, so when you look back at the last matchup against Scarborough, what stood out to you?
Yeah, gave up too many rebounds. They had more rebounds than we had points. So for us, it's just challenging our players to meet the game with physicality, err on the side of aggression, and the game starts when the shot goes up.
And how important is it for your guys to come out and just set the tone early on in this matchup?
Yeah, it's important. Just get off to a good start, play the right way, play together, and see what happens from there.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Guys?
Thank you, Francisca. It's an Eastern showdown. It's the Shooting Stars in the Flower City to take on the Honey Badgers. Where else would you rather be on a Sunday afternoon? Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Welcome to a new CEBL season.
It's been amazing, Canada basketball, to put that platform and give guys an out.
The crowds were bigger, the players got better, the quality of the game got better.
You gotta love it, Canadian Goose.
Fasten your seatbelt tonight because we're gonna have some high energy and some high flying stuff.
This is the trail. This is the real. And all that I gotta say, I'm in my zone.
No shortage of emotion, no shortage of intensity as anticipated.
Sliding away. What a block from behind.
You don't just fuel your body, you fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Back inside the CAA Centre in Brampton, it's the Honey Badgers and Shooting Stars set to square off in just a few moments here. All right, Oren, you've identified some keys to the game presented by CDIC. First for the visiting Shooting Stars.
Starting with Scarborough, yeah, it's almost hard to come up with 3 keys to the game because they're playing so well, but number 1 is defend the rim. Charles Bediaco, he's their starting center, but he's out right now with the Canadian Senior Men's National Team, so he leads the team in blocks, 1.3 a game. He's a really good rim presence, really good shot blocker. So without him, they have to do it by committee. They have to pack the paint, find a way to defend the rim without him. The other one is keep on cutting. I mean, Scarborough moves the ball so well. That's why, as we saw earlier, they're averaging 95 points a game. They get a ton of easy baskets on cuts, backdoor cuts, all types of cuts. And you know, they need to just keep on doing that today to continue getting those easy baskets. And lastly, don't get complacent. Scarborough, as we just said, they just keep on winning games. But we know how good they are at coming back. Sometimes, however, they struggle to keep a lead and they let teams get back in the game. So if you're Scarborough, you just want to keep playing hard for the whole 40 minutes tonight and make sure that you can control this game.
And shifting through the home side, the keys brought to you by CDIC for the Honey Badgers are.
So starting with control the boards, we already mentioned it on this broadcast, but last game, 73 to 51 was the rebounding battle for Scarborough, and 22 rebounds for Frank Mitchell was a CEBL record when they played last weekend. So Brampton has to do a way better job controlling the boards tonight. And then the other two are really about the offense. Move the ball and make your threes. To beat Scarborough, you have to do both. You have to take good shots. You cannot settle. You have to get into the paint, drive, and that'll open up your threes. And you can't just take them, but you have to make them. You know, Brampton has to shoot a high percentage tonight if they're going to actually overcome this hot Scarborough team.
All right, let's meet the starters first for the visiting Shooting Stars. It'll be Khalil Miller, Kellen Tynes, Anthony Walker, David Mooncat, and Miles Powell. Powell has a league-best 7 target score time winners this season. And for the Honey Badgers, Tyrese Hunter, Brandon Moontu, Trenton Flowers, Justin Hamilton, and Matthew Moncrief round out the starting 5. Moncrief is just 11 rebounds away from setting a new Honey Badgers single-season record for most rebounds in a campaign. All right, players to watch. Oren, who have you selected for the Shooting Stars?
For Scarborough, it's Frank the Tank Mitchell. As I just mentioned, 22 rebounds the last time these two teams played last weekend. He dominated the game in every asset, and when that's the case, you got to highlight him. And without Charles Bediaco, as I mentioned, who's with the Canadian national team, Frank Mitchell has a really big opportunity ahead of him to take over the kind of starting role here in Scarborough and to just continue working upon this amazing season that he's had, his first pro season. So Frank Mitchell, he's the guy to watch for Scarborough. Even though he's not starting, he's going to come off the bench and he's going to play a lot of minutes tonight. And
your player to watch for Brampton is Matthew Moncrief.
Matthew Moncrief, I feel like when I see the Brampton team play, they play best when Moncrief is on, When he has a slow game like he did against Scarborough in the last game, he only played 16 minutes in the last game against Scarborough. Brampton struggles. To me, he's almost their X factor. He's the guy when he's bringing energy, when he's taking it to the rim, when he's being aggressive, hitting first. This team almost feeds off that, the homegrown talent that he is, and I expect him to be really good today, just like he was in their win against Ottawa.
Shooting Stars are ready. The Honey Badgers are ready. Let's play some CEBL hoops from the Flower City. Tip-off is presented by Spalding, the official game ball of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Brampton wins the tip wearing the black Flower City jerseys. The ends white unis are what Scarborough will rock today, and trying to toss up there with the newcomers. That was Flowers trying to find Hamilton. And instead, here's a familiar face, David Mooncat, who draws the game's first foul. So he'll head to the line early.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Serta obviously drew one up for his two new guys, pick and roll between Flowers and Hamilton, and the pass might have been a little bit off, but that's just the growing pains of putting two new guys on a team, and just shows that they're really trying to get those two guys involved, feeling comfortable in their first kind of CEBL minutes here.
Mooncat recently signing with Scarborough once again. Spent last season here in Brampton. This is his third game with the Shooting Stars this season, his first start and his 5th CEBL season. He won a title with Scarborough in 2023.
And he's actually a Brampton native. Comes from here, and another Team Canada guy was a big part of their windows. He's a really good 3-and-D kind of guy.
Cutting inside right there, wasting no time, Tyrese Hunter. So Brampton on the board in a big way. Tynes. Flowers giving him all the room to shoot. Here's Mooncat. He's a threat from deep. Shot 49% from 3 last season. Can't hit the layup this time.
Yeah, and I shouldn't call Mooncat just 3-and-D. You know, he does have a lot more to his game, but he's growing. I think each season you see him play, as you mentioned, started with Scarborough on their original team in 2022. Each season he's adding something to his bag offensively. Defensively, he's always been just an incredible on-ball defender.
Flowers lost control there, trying to keep it in bounds. Instead, it'll trickle out of bounds. And Flowers is looking at his coach there, trying to figure out what the call was.
These are two really high turnover teams. If you were to poke kind of holes in their offense, both of them turn it over a decent amount. So that's going to be a battle to watch.
Here's Tynes. Driving inside, kicks up top. Anthony Walker. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Miles Powell, and that's picked. Tyrese Hunter in the lane. Honey Badgers with numbers. Moncrief elevates for 2.
Yeah, aggressive defense. They're pressuring the ball a lot, Brampton is, and they already have 2 turnovers that they've forced. So that's obviously one of the keys for Coach Serta and something they need to keep up for 40 minutes.
Tynes kicks into the middle of the key, and it's a free throw jumper for Miller, the former OUA Defensive Player of the Year at McMaster. Showing off the offensive touch. Also signed not too long ago. After a very successful season in Bulgaria, he won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Import of the Year. Shot no good there. Ball is loose down low, and it's picked up as Brandon Muntu tosses it into the backcourt. And that'll be a backcourt violation, so rags to riches, or riches to rags, I should say, for the Honey Badgers on that possession.
Yeah, Miller is really like their steadying presence. I just feel like they put him on the floor every time that things are maybe going a bit too quickly, too many turnovers. He really settles them down. And he's a Swiss Army knife.
One of the more veteran players on this Scarborough team, his 3rd season in the Canadian Elite Basketball League. Tynes dared to shoot it. Can't hit, and Moncrief soars through the middle of the key. He's got another rebound.
Brampton's packing the paint. I mean, they don't want to let these guys get to the rim. And they'll be okay with some guys taking threes.
Muntu, double team, someone's open, up top, Hamilton 3. And Powell right there for the board. Miles Powell, 6'2", product of Seton Hall. Had a 41-point outing this season against Winnipeg. Trying to go to work here, cuts inside, up with the left, and he smoked the layup.
Yeah, surprising, right? Because usually when Miles Powell gets himself...
right there, check out the defensive effort from Powell. That goes out of bounds. And it'll be an 8-second call against the Honey Badgers. So right there, Powell misses a shot, but he recovers with a heck of a defensive effort.
Yeah, he did. And I think Brampton's going to have to figure out what they want to do defensively, because you can't just switch everything and let Powell play 101.
Here he is, topside triple. Coming off the back rim, and Moncrief and Hamilton fighting for the rebound, and they both punch it out of bounds.
Miles Powell not afraid to shoot the ball. We talked about this earlier. 11 3-point attempts a game. And considering he's playing 26 minutes a game, that's about, if my math serves me correctly, 1 every other minute.
His high was 16 attempts in that game against Winnipeg. Of course, the 41-point outing. Here he is, the floor general. Quick to dish off, and he turns it over. Muntu's got it. Moncrief with a bit of space, and he's harassed on the way to the net. So Matthew Moncrief earns a trip to the line.
So Powell's had a couple turnovers already, and what they're doing is they're being really aggressive on the pick and roll coverage. You see Scarborough talking about it right now, maybe huddled together, but Brampton's showing 2 guys on the pick and roll. Right there, they showed 3. And, you know, Powell and Scarborough will be a little bit more patient here, looking for their passes rather than looking for the shot on those.
Moncrief, another player in this game this afternoon with Canadian basketball experience, U19 World Cup, U17 World Championships, as he hits the first. We'll follow at CEBL League on all social platforms to stay up to date on stats, storylines, and more for all 10 teams in Canada's Pro Basketball League. Moncrief can't get the roll on the second, but that'll give Brampton the lead momentarily. Here's Walker. Was about to step into it. Sub coming in on the next whistle. It'll be Keon Ambrose Hilton. Powell chased into the corner. Good defense here from Flowers. Powell stuck now, and Hamilton kicks it out of bounds with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Reset to 14 as Ambrose Hilton comes in the game, and we get our first look at Frank Mitchell, who checks in for Scarborough.
And this is good because Powell's just pounding the ball right now. He's dribbling a lot, and they're not really getting good looks. But as soon as you put Frank Mitchell in the game, you'll see the ball will go through him. It won't be as much guards dribbling. It'll be a lot more of Frank holding it at the elbows and guys cutting around him.
Tegra Ize also in the game for Brampton. Tasked with guarding Frank Mitchell, who's wide open down low. Frank cuts inside on the board early.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. He's an outlet, right? He makes everything easier on offense for these guys.
Pull-up 3 is cash. Moontu connects from deep.
Moontu just came over from Calgary, obviously, where he started his season. He's a Calgary native.
7 games to start there with the Surge. One of the many pickups for this Brampton team, reshuffling the deck throughout the season. That's the name of the game in the CEBL. Here's Mitchell up with the right. That one's flat, and there is the aforementioned Moontu who pulls it down. Brandon Moontu, top side. No good. Fighting for it down low was Ize.
Yeah, I mean, no Sean East, no Cam Tyson. You need a guy like Moontu, so that's a very smart signing, and he'll need to hit some shots.
Mitchell inside. Count the bucket as Frank hits a deck.
So Frank Mitchell comes in the game, 2 pick and rolls, both times. They hit him on the roll. And he finishes those both times. So, I mean, he's just such a big target. The guys are feeding him. He's going hard to the rim. And that's why he's such a tall task. I mean, Brampton's not going to have an easy time defending the Powell-Mitchell pick and roll. That's kind of the bread and butter of Scarborough's game. It's hard to stop.
So he completes the 3-point play. Mitchell played for both Canisius and Bonaventure.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're a Canadian watching these games, Frank Mitchell is the next kind of Canadian up-and-coming big. He's a young guy still, just got out of college, hasn't played for the Canadian senior men's team yet, but I really would expect it sooner than later because the way he started his first pro career in the CEBL has been extremely impressive, and everyone's taken notice.
So Powell picked the pocket there, ball went into the backcourt, and the shot clock reset to 24 seconds, which it should not have. It should be about 5 or so seconds here. And official Tommy Wu indicates that it should be 3 seconds. So in the ballpark. My math wasn't that far off, I guess, right? Far enough, though.
Not far off,
If you asked head coach Serda, he'd tell you I was way off.
He wants 24 seconds.
Absolutely. Here's Flowers fading to beat the buzzer. Couldn't hit, and Ambrose Hilton tried to get a piece of it. Back the other way. Walker takes off and throws it down. Come on! Anthony Walker slams it, and we've got a timeout on the court.
Yeah, Coach Serda's talking to the official right now. He's not happy about the officiating with the Frank Mitchell fouls.
Timeout on the floor. We're going to take a timeout at the table. Shooting Stars up 3. Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh yeah, like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
Anthony Walker taking flight here on the offensive end as the Shooting Stars with a 5-point lead, and that's a high percentage shot there for Mr. Walker, Owen.
Yeah, I mean, Scarborough is getting to the paint pretty consistently, and I think that's why Serta called the timeout. He knows that you're not going to beat this team if you're letting them get those easy looks at the basket. You have to make it a lot harder for them, make them go inside, make them pass it out, contest the threes. That's going to be the strategy to win. And last 3 plays, Scarborough got layups.
Throwing it up, throwing it down. Oh, Flowers from the roof.
That's a little bit of a statement.
Trenton Flowers soars through the air and throws it down.
Anyone who watched last game saw Trenton Flowers started really slow, picked up as the game went on. 6 months he's been rehabbing from injuries, but this is a G League guy. This is an NBA level talent. And Brampton, I was talking to some guys earlier from the team. They're really excited to see what he could do as he gets his legs under him.
Powell hit a 3 moments ago, so he's on the board now as he's a foul down low. And that will be on Frank Mitchell. So we expected this to be a back and forth affair. Acrobatic dunks, high-flying buckets, and that's exactly what it's been so far.
Yeah, I think, look, we were talking about this watching the warm-ups. These two teams don't like each other. These two teams know from the start of the season that this game was circled on their calendars. They're the 2 GTA teams in this league, and they want to make a statement. They both really want this win. I don't think this is just a regular start of July CEBL game. I think this game means something to both teams, and Brampton, certainly coming off that losing streak, wants to keep winning.
Well, that dunk by Flowers was something else. Head coach Alex Serta's ATOs have been masterclass this season. So he drew it up perfectly. And we've got Kat Barber in the game now, the veteran piece here. 4th straight season with the Shooting Stars. Kat Barber blows by his man, blocked down low, and Kat's going to head to the line. Head coach Tyrell Vernon wants the bucket to count. So that'll be on Flowers, that personal, as Hamilton and Moontu come back in. Take a look at this Barber drive here.
Brampton, that should have been a goaltending. It came off the glass before it was blocked. But Brampton has a case here where they've been upset with a couple of the fouls that have been called at the rim, where there's really been minimal contact here. But at the same time, they have to be the ones to adjust defensively and know that the refs have started this game calling it pretty tight.
Well, Cal Tire's a proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com. Barber splits the pair. Hamilton's got another rebound.
Yeah, with Barber and Powell here on the floor, you know, offensively, it's great.
Hamilton pulls up and the soft floater drops.
But that's exactly what I was going to say. Defensively, it's 2 small guards for Brampton to attack.
Powell challenging inside, draws another foul, and this one's on Hamilton. You know, this is one of the parts of Miles Powell's game that is so impressive, his ability to draw fouls, and it's something that you see Sean East do all the time, and there's an art to that.
Yeah, that was a great take. I mean, off a make, he basically goes and gets a transition basket, or he goes and gets to the free throw line in transition. He didn't wait for them to set up. He didn't dribble the air out of the ball. He just took it to the hoop.
Powell, former Big East Player of the Year at Seton Hall, can't hit the first free throw. 86% from the line on the season.
Yeah, for my money, he's been the best player in the CEBL this season, and you do wonder why he's not like one of these guys in Summer League right now. There's so many CEBL players making their way there, including, you know, guys like Sean East and Miles Powell, full-time CEBL player right now, which I'm sure Scarborough is happy about.
Absolutely. Misses the pair of free throws. That's something that you don't see often. Here's Flowers. 5 on the shot clock, trying to go to work. Up with the right. Couldn't drop it. Miller's got the board. Frank Mitchell. Powell pulls up, can't hit it. And does it stay in bounds? Powell able to keep it in bounds, but throws it out of bounds.
And that was Frank Mitchell, you know, taking the ball in transition, handling the ball, and making that pass to Powell where he got a really good look for 3. But that's one of these things that makes Scarborough such a good transition team. Their bigs can handle it.
Matthew Moncrief checks into the game, and so does Taj Green. Francisca has more on Taj.
Well, playing in Canada wasn't something Taj Green just fell into. It was something that he actually spoke into existence. He told me that on the very first day he met Coach Mike while overseas, he walked up and said to him, "I know who you are, and I'm coming to play with you in Canada." Years later, that moment turned into reality as he now finds himself playing in the CEBL, something he says he has been trying to get into for a while now. Matt?
Good stuff. Thank you, Francisca. And good stuff there from Matthew Moncrief, who bodies his way inside.
Yeah, that's better from him. That's what he needs to do every time until they guard him differently, right?
And he's gotten another rebound right there.
He's incredible in transition, incredible going to the rim.
Moontu pulls up, couldn't get the roll. Moncrief offensive board, and almost count the bucket instead. A trip back to the line for Moncrief.
And those are the two guys that I pointed out at the start of the game. Moncrief going up against Mitchell, getting him his first foul. That's going to be just a battle in the post all night to watch.
So subs in here. Tyrese Hunter coming back in for Brampton. David Mooncat coming in for Scarborough. And Matthew Moncrief is such an underrated player, averaging basically a double-double off the bench.
Yeah, he's another guy that spent some time with the Canadian national team program as a young guy, U17 and U19. He played for Orangeville Prep out in Orangeville, Ontario. And last season, obviously, his first full one in the G League, where he played really, really well and dominated on the rebounds. That's one thing he does really well.
I should say not off the bench. I should rather say in the starting lineup. Started 14 of now 15 games on the season. In his first year in the Canadian Elite Basketball League, he has been a force as Kat Barber goes end-to-end. So Kat Barber, the franchise leader in points, made three-pointers, assists, steals. Trying to spark this season, and Moncrief gets the roll. This guy's strong right now.
Yes, Coach Serta asked him to handle the ball. He wanted that to be the play. He wanted him to keep going to the rim until Scarborough changes the way they are defending.
Mooncat gets the offensive board on the Barber miss. Mooncat's got space. Moncrief daring him to shoot it. Good defense there from Moncrief. Mooncat's got to go up top. Walker, it's deep. Ooh. No roll there. Mooncat planted in the middle of the key, and a fresh 14 for the Shooting Stars.
Thought he was getting the friendly bounce on that one, but nope.
Barber drives on the reverse. Good defense there from Moncrief again.
Great defense, and I think he wants him to get the ball again here. Yeah, they want to just keep running it because this is going to open up the threes. I mentioned Brampton has to make threes. First, they need to cause the defense to open up, and that's exactly what happened there, right?
Hamilton connects from deep.
So Moncrief went to the hole 2 times in a row, got the layups. This time they converge on him in the paint, and it leads to a wide open 3 from the corner.
Hamilton's got 5 points. Honey Badgers just 2 of 8 from deep. That last triple gives them a 4-point lead. 5 on the shot clock. Barber fading, couldn't hit it. 40 to go in the quarter. Green down the middle of the lane, up with the right.
In and out there.
Trying to go for a 2-for-1 here, so Brampton will look for a stop. Try to get the ball back in the last shot of the quarter. Here's Barber. Cutting inside, loses control. And it goes out of bounds, apparently off of Brampton, as Tynes will check back in.
Kat Barber got lucky there because he lost the ball and Brampton hit it out.
So 10-second difference between the game clock and shot clock, 12 on the shot clock. Tynes up top.
And you can see Green defending him way back in the paint. They're not afraid of Tynes shooting the ball.
Barber dishing off to Tynes. He goes up with the left, and he's knocked on the way. So he'll head to the line with 11.9 to go in the quarter. That foul on Matthew Moncrief. That's his second personal.
But, you know, Brampton's going to have one more shot in this quarter, 12 seconds left, but really good start for them, right? To play Scarborough, especially at home, you have to come out strong. You have to be the aggressors. And I think Brampton's succeeded in doing that. This first quarter has been really strong for them, both ends on the floor. They've really given themselves a shot to take down the juggernauts in this game.
Taj Green was waving his hands there. He said, that foul's on me, and the officials corrected it with the table, so it's not on Moncrief. It's on Taj Green. So Moncrief at 1. Taj Green picks up his first personal.
Yeah, that's huge. Moncrief has to play a lot tonight.
Talk about teammate of the year, too, in Taj Green.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Unselfish move there. So Tynes drops the pair. Shot clock off. Final 10 ticks of the quarter. Almost had his pocket picked. That was Hunter, and the Shooting Stars do pick pocket. Tynes with an easy layup.
And that's the broadcaster's jinx right there. I said something about Brampton playing well and gave up a really bad end to the quarter, but hey, we got a good one here.
Oh, you're lucky we can't take away your headset. Tied at 21 after one quarter of play. It's the Shooting Stars and the Honey Badgers here on Sunday afternoon CEBL action. We'll be back. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Looking to level up your future? Algoma University's Brampton campus is where ambition meets opportunity. Study in-demand programs like business, computer science, and psychology right in downtown Brampton. We offer the most affordable tuition in Ontario and are ranked #1 in Canada for scholarships and bursaries. Small classes, big support, real success. Algoma University Brampton. Success within reach.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian news. Two hands. Me. Oh, what a block from behind.
All over the weekend, the Brampton Honey Badgers had the unique opportunity to visit the William Osler Health System's Brampton Civic Hospital. See some awesome photos there. A number of the team members and team general manager, Jermaine Anderson. Danilo Jurdicic on the right there. Of course, he's got a very unique story. Battled testicular cancer. He's open with his battle and sharing that young kids that are affected by illness need to stay optimistic and positive about their own journey. And he reflected on this visit, saying that it's awesome to bring a smile to these kids' faces and another unique opportunity to be a part of this Brampton community.
No, it's awesome. It's what the CEBL is all about, going into communities, making an actual impact, being able to see professional basketball players, touch them, know them, and you see it in the hallway of the CAA Centre today. There's a ton of kids who are really amped to be here.
Absolutely. Second quarter underway here. Barber's three ball no good. Second chance for the Shooting Stars. Brampton actually won the rebounding battle 15-10 in the first quarter, and Mooncat's going to win this possession with a triple.
Yeah, that's a big shot because with Powell off the floor, Scarborough already you've seen, without Powell and Mitchell, it's hard to come by offense for them.
Flowers inside. He was pushed. That foul will be on Kellen Tynes. That's his first personal.
Kellen Tynes, that's what he does. He's an on-ball irritant. He's a really good defender. He's a hustle guy. He's not going to knock down a lot of threes for you. That's kind of the hole in his game right now. But defensively, that's why he got the Flowers matchup. They trust him.
Here's Hamilton. Had 19 points in his debut the other day, including the target score time winner, and wants 2 more. Not going to get it this trip. Tynes waiting for white jerseys to fill the front court. Mooncat, 15 on the shot clock.
And Mooncat passed open a 3 there because they miscommunicated and he had it, but he didn't want to take it.
Oh, nice cut by Tynes, and Crafty Cat finds him down low for 2.
Yeah, really good cut by Tynes. That's what he does. He's going to keep moving off the ball, keep cutting. He likes to finish at the rim a lot more than taking jump shots.
Flowers trying to push inside on Miller. Flowers high off the glass and count it.
That's a really hard take. That's a really hard take. Because they're giving a lot of bodies. You'll see Scarborough spending a lot of bodies in the paint. They're reaching. And Flowers, now he's shown a little bit. Okay, I'm scoring at the rim. He's had a couple N1s. Now I want to look for Flowers to look to pass to his teammates on some of these drives because Scarborough converges onto the paint. And they're going to have wide open looks as long as he's handling the ball. And he has to just make the right read, not always look to score from now on.
Flowers also impressive in his debut the other day. 22 points against Ottawa. Barber driving inside, spinning. Oh, that's veteran play from Cat.
That's what he does. He's a scorer. Every way, every level.
Barber quickly up to 5 points. Hunter, step back. Tough shot there. Mooncat, easy board.
Yeah, you want to see a bit of a better start from Tyrese Hunter tonight.
Mooncat driving, lost control. Moontu letting it go out of bounds, and it'll be Brampton ball as Walker will check back in for Scarborough.
You know, Hunter is kind of, as you guys mentioned last game, he's kind of the vet on this team now. He's the guy who's been around all season. He's the lead ball handler, and he hasn't really played like that so far. He gave up the turnover at the end of the first quarter there. Right there, he takes an early shot clock 3, not the best shot that they could have got. So you want to see Tyrese Hunter kind of settle into this game.
Averaging 10 points per game. Inside, Moncrief slams it. Matthew Moncrief showing off the athleticism. Hunter almost picking the pocket. And he does as Barber deflects it out of bounds. So an offensive possession, a defensive possession, a little bit of everything here for Brampton.
Yeah, they haven't really found an answer to Moncrief yet, Scarborough. I mean, every time he's driven the ball, they've gotten either a basket or, like I mentioned earlier, that wide open 3 off the pass. So Moncrief, when he drives the ball, he's an extremely hard guy to stop. And that's why, again, you see him handling it here.
One way to try to stop this Brampton offense, bring in Miles Powell and Frank Mitchell, and that's exactly what they just did. Moontu, 3 ball, no good. And Tynes able to grab the rebound and draw the foul. And that'll be Hunter picking up the personal, his first.
But that's a good pass. That's a good look, even though Brampton misses the 3. Moncrief gets doubled on the pick and roll there, and he made the right read. And Brampton, you know, that was one of the keys of the game. Eventually, you're going to have to start making some of these threes, but they are getting good looks.
Powell up top, off the screen, tosses the 3, and draws the foul. So that will be the second foul on Moncrief as Powell able to work the moves there to draw the whistle.
It's a difficult action to defend when you have Powell working off the ball, running through a couple screens. Moncrief, obviously not a guard, bigger guy, so it's hard to chase a guy like Powell around those screens, and now he has 2 fouls, and he has to be really careful.
New Era is the exclusive game uniform partner of the CEBL and all 10 of its teams from coast to coast. Pick up your official replica jerseys now by visiting CEBL.ca. First free throw is good.
It's interesting that they match Powell up with Frank Mitchell because you would think those are maybe their 2 best offensive players. They might want to stagnate them, but instead they play them together, and it's hard to stop them when they're on.
Powell hits the second with more on Miles. Let's check in with Francisca.
So guys, after serving his suspension, Miles said watching his teammates beat Brampton without him only reinforced the confidence this group has in one another. He admitted his teammates had his back, held his team together, and proved Scarborough can win regardless of who's available. He says that's the kind of trust championship teams need. Matt?
Good stuff. Thank you. Of course, that disciplinary action, a result of making contact with an official in that game against Brampton the other week. Here's Mooncat. Oh, you hope he's all right there. He slipped on his way to the net.
Yeah, there was a wet spot on the floor, and something that they need to be a little bit more careful of. Some of the baseline people here with the mops, because that's been an issue at times.
Yeah, weather gets hotter. It's a little more moist in here.
Yep.
Condensation.
Right, and we got such a good crowd. We got body heat.
Yep. Yeah.
This arena.
Really good day here today. We had Maple Lodge outside giving away free hot dogs.
Free glizzies.
Yep.
We threw a couple back before the game, didn't we?
Oh, you exposed us. Okay, there you go. You have to taste test everything in life, right?
Yeah, we had to make sure it was food handling safe for the kids.
Hamilton goes back up top. Hunter settles for the triple. And Moncrief there with his 6th board. Hunter inside, over to Hamilton. He was blocked from behind, goes up on the right, and second time's the charm.
Way to stay with it. And Justin Hamilton is another new guy, right? Last game was his first, and he hit the target time winner of the corner 3.
Powell off the screen, knocks it down. Typical Miles.
Yeah, he's a tough shot maker. I mean, he comes off these screens, he's moving to the right at such a fast pace, and he's still able to stop, pop, and make these threes. He's extremely tough to stop. There's no real answers.
Up to 9 points now is Miles Powell. Really love to get him going here, build on this 6-point lead. Elbow jumper, no good there from Flowers. Here is Powell. Thought about challenging inside. Instead, he gets the mismatch on Hamilton, and a foul is called before the shot down low. It was Frank Mitchell who was wrapped up there.
Yeah, it was a good job by Frank to get that early seal, early positioning, but also a smart foul by Flowers there. And it would have just been an easy 2 points, and instead he smartly takes the foul.
So that foul on Trenton Flowers. It's his 2nd personal. Izzy back into the game here. Quick insert pass to Mitchell, and a kick ball on the way in.
Whew, just by the skin of the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Barely touched it, but
I couldn't even see that. Kind of reminded you of that Croatia-Portugal game the other day, didn't it?
The hair of the shoe.
Mitchell.
There we go.
Couldn't get the pass there from Powell. Not good enough of a dish. Flowers. Thought about the 3. Now will step back after going to his left. And a little all-day breakfast. Trenton cooking it up.
Yeah, that's a big shot for him because so far he hadn't been able to really knock down any jump shots, but now his game really is opening up. He's gone to the line. He's gone to the rim. He's hit a 3.
Mooncat trying to spin inside, and he's blocked down low. Izzy gets a hand on it. Good defense there from the big man off the bench.
It's impressive what, Jermaine Anderson and the Brampton front office have done here with the depth of talent, right? All of a sudden they have a brand new front line almost.
Spinning down low and spin to 2 is Anthony Walker.
Yeah, adding T. Gray, adding Hamilton to Ambrose Hilton and Moncrief, and now they just have a lot of depth up front.
Here's Flowers. And a foul called before he could even make his way to the basket. And that'll be on Anthony Walker. You look at the Shooting Stars team, and it makes sense how they're 13-2 on the season. Their depth is so impressive.
Yeah.
And they managed to have a number of players that can take over the ball game at any point. We're going to see a little bit more of that. Last 4:47 of the quarter after this break. Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying?
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
Redtag.ca.
Back inside the CAA Centre, 36-31, the Shooting Stars on top of the Honey Badgers. Matt Bonomi alongside Oren Weisfeld and Francisca Opong. Thanks for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon of CEBL Hoops. Good crowd here in the Flower City to watch the two top teams in the Eastern Conference. And as I was saying a moment ago there, Oren, before I got rudely cut off by a media timeout, 13-2 record for the Shooting Stars team. They have everything. I mean, they've built this team so well. GM Brady Heslip, who's in the building this afternoon, has just done a perfect job at constructing this roster.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a roster this deep in the history of the CEBL, to be honest. As Hamilton has the ball here.
Hamilton making it work.
But again, Brampton's revamped their team too, and now it's two pretty deep teams, and that's why they have a shot in this game. And last 5 minutes of this half, crucial. Brampton needs to close the gap.
Powell inside, up with the right, and he will go back to the line. And it's funny, too, because you talk to people across the Canadian Elite Basketball League, and you may see the discrepancy in record. Scarborough 13-2, Brampton 8-6. There's a 4.5 game difference there, but they really aren't that far off. And the beauty of this is how you round your team out as the season goes on, picking up guys like Justin Hamilton, Trenton Flowers. I mean, these are guys that can turn your ball club around pretty quick. And then you have a guy like Sean East coming back, or Cam Tyson.
For sure. I mean, I've heard it be described as, in the CEBL, you don't want to peak too early. You want to just kind of get through the regular season and then peak when championship weekend happens. So Scarborough's peaked all season, and maybe they'll just continue to play that way throughout the playoffs. But sometimes there is something to be said as Mitchell comes up with this board here.
Mitchell fighting down low, and Muntu in there too.
Sometimes there is something to be said for kind of not necessarily getting off to the fastest start, but slowly but surely getting better each week. And I do think Brampton, still has the potential to be that team.
We watched Niagara do that last year as well, and then eventually win a championship, their second straight. Keon Ambrose Hilton will check in the game on the next whistle for Brampton.
Yeah, I want to see more Moncrief handling the ball. That got them consistently good looks.
He's very athletic for a big man as Flowers draws the whistle. This one, again, will be on Anthony Walker. That's his second personal as Ambrose Hilton comes into the game replacing Hamilton. Well, we talked about the value of Matthew Moncrief. He's got 10 points and 5 boards right now.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a natural way to defend him. Right now, Mooncat is on him, who few inches shorter than him. Really good defender, but
here's Moncrief challenging Mooncat. Mooncat all over it, but Moncrief wins the battle.
And there you go. Mooncat did everything he could. He got his hand on the ball, but still.
Powell trying to go end-to-end, throws up a prayer. Frank Mitchell was hanging over top of Flowers there.
Now this game's moving quite fast, and Powell might have been looking for the foul there rather than going to actually score, and he didn't get rewarded with it.
And something you want to keep an eye on, Frank Mitchell now with 3 fouls with 3:48 to go in the first half.
Yeah, that's not good for Scarborough. That keeps him out for the rest of the first half almost for sure. And that means when Frank Mitchell's not in the game, the question becomes, how do they score? If you see Cat Barber come back here and you see him play with Miles Powell, that's their best way to go about it without Frank in the game. But that gives Brampton 2 smaller guards to target on the defensive end of the floor. So there's always a push and pull here with Scarborough's lineups, and we'll look to see if Brampton does attack those 2 guys.
Flowers converts both. Mitchell had 4 fouls in back-to-back games. He's never fouled out this season. He's yet 2.
But we talked about it, without Bediako in the game, their depth at the front court position is a lot worse. And if Mitchell's going to be in foul trouble today, that gives Scarborough, some real troubles, some rebounding troubles, some rim protection troubles. Yeah, I mean, that's 2 of their best centers just not being able to play too much.
Powell at the line. Last foul on Muntu. Powell hits the first free throw. Shooting Stars, 9 of 14 entering this trip to the line. And Powell, who missed the pair earlier, now hits both. So 11 for 16 are the Shooting Stars from the stripe. Lead back up to 1. Flowers pushing inside. Full speed, end-to-end for Trenton.
Both teams are being aggressive, not settling for the 3, taking it to the cup.
Honey Badgers back on top 1. Powell's fading and couldn't hit it. Moncrief wants it. And Moontu able to evade the white jerseys. Flowers pushing inside. Moncrief had a steam up with the right. And he's fouled on his way to the floor.
Yeah, these are two similar teams because they both want to move up and down the court really quickly. They both want to establish themselves inside, getting to the cup. And Powell takes a really difficult shot there, and anytime a miss at the rim like that happens, you're giving up a transition opportunity there.
Timeout on the floor here.
Yeah, Brampton's been really good in this one. Again, they're down 1. They came back after a bad start to the third quarter, but now they've worked their way right back into this game. And again, with Frank Mitchell out for the rest of the quarter, Brampton has an opportunity here to close the half on a really strong note.
We also have an opportunity to take a look at what's going on around the league. Calgary and Saskatoon squared off at Takini Arena in Whitehorse, Yukon on Friday. That was the Snowline Gold Real North Classic, the first pro basketball game ever in Canada's territory. Saskatoon with a 96-92 comeback win. That was Jameer Chaplin, who had 26 points off the bench. And Oren, you can speak to this one. Canadian men's senior men's national team played Puerto Rico on Friday night at TD Coliseum in the Hammer. It was a 110-84 win. Aaron Best, Thomas Kennedy, and Charles Bediaco, the former and current CEBL players on that roster that got action that night. That's one of 2 windows of FIBA World Cup 2027 America's qualifiers. They will play there, and they're in action again Monday against Jamaica. So grab tickets if you can. You had a great experience, didn't you?
No, I mean, I couldn't recommend it more highly. If you're in the, Southern Ontario, Greater Toronto area, and you want to see some high-level hoops, get out to Hamilton on Monday. You're going to watch guys like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Dylan Brooks, Andrew Nemar. These are, 4 of the best 50 players in the world, and they're on our home floor, and they're playing for Canada against Jamaica in a game that matters. The way that these guys have stepped up and represented their country recently, it really is changing the whole perception of Canada basketball, because in the past we didn't have this level of commitment. And I talked to Dylan Brooks for a piece recently in Toronto Life, and he said, doesn't matter contract year, doesn't matter if I'm in contract negotiations, I'm going to be here, I'm going to be playing for Canada. And I think that speaks to their mindset right now.
And sitting across the floor from us here is Jay Triano, of course, the Canadian Basketball Hall of Famer, Canadian Sports Hall of Fame this year as well. Yep. First Canadian head coach in NBA history.
Jay Triano did a ton to get the national team program to where it is.
Drives inside off the window.
Coaching Steve Nash at the 2000 Olympics, coaching again in the 2010s. Jay Triano had the program when it was, didn't have as much money, didn't have as much talent, but he kept it steady. He kept it moving to get to a place where it is today.
Sitting right beside Mr. Heslip over there. Flowers goes back door, trying to cut inside, and he gets the roll.
Yeah, Flowers looks a lot more comfortable today. With the physicality level, it looks like he didn't come off a couch anymore.
He's up to 14 points now. Good defense there from Moontu, pestering Powell. Now that story is remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, when Sean East and this guy are playing together, they're going to be a hard team to stop.
Yeah, he told Denung Balsera the other day in the post-game interview that he was on the couch. He hadn't played a game, I think, since it was January.
Yep. Yeah, he's dealt with some injuries, and he's been rehabbing for the past 6 months. But came off a plane, and
Barber, back 3-ball well off the mark, off the side of the backboard. Head coach Alex Serta said when he learned that Trenton Flowers was available, the name came across his desk. He said, get him ASAP.
ASAP like Rocky.
Yeah, Ambrose Hilton. Oh, a delivery at the rack.
Great pass there. Right into the roll. Made it easy for the big.
Get him on the board. Brampton up 3. Ambrose Hilton going to get charged with a foul there. That was Tynes driving inside. That's a 6'3" Tynes going at a 6'8" Ambrose Hilton. So he's not afraid as Phoenix Wise checks into the game, replacing David Mooncat. Lotto Max now gives you even more chances to win with new prizes of $100,000 every draw. Get your Lotto Max ticket tonight. Must be 18 plus. Tynes' first free throw up and good.
Phoenix Wise, another U Sports guy, went to St. FX, where he won the AUS Rookie of the Year. Toronto guy played for St. Michael's, so yeah, got another U Sports connection here, a local kid. And doesn't play a whole lot for them, but getting an opportunity today.
Did pretty well in the preseason as Tynes knocks a second as well, but with this team, and the depth they have, it's hard to crack this roster.
It is tough. It is tough. And that's the kind of upside to, you know, around now. Summer league's happening. Some guys are in and out of the lineup. Canada basketball's happening. Gives other guys, especially young U Sports guys, the opportunity to play.
Here's Moncrief. Muntu up top. He's got 3 points. Green in the corner looking for three. Too strong. Powell's second rebound along with 11 points and give him 12 and 13. And a timeout on the floor. Head coach Alex Serta has seen enough of Miles Powell.
Yeah, I mean, really poor transition defense for Brampton there, so he wants to talk it over, but you can't. The first guy you have to pick up is the ball, and especially if it's Miles Powell with the ball, someone had to pick him up, and they didn't.
So a timeout on the floor. These two teams, as mentioned, have only met once this season prior to today's contest. That was an 82-69 win on June 27th for the Shooting Stars. That was Brampton's lowest point total of the season. Of course, the 69-point total. Second time this season that Scarborough had held a team to a low of 69 points. And like you said, Oren, Frank Mitchell had that record-setting 22-rebound game, which was a new CEBL single-game record. Bediako and Amir Sims had 10 rebounds as well. So those three guys combined for 32 boards in that lopsided board battle, you could call it. But it's been the tale of two seasons. Scarborough started the season off 4-0, win streak of 6 games. And their only losses were Saskatoon and Ottawa, who you could arguably say they should have beaten those games at certain points for sure. And then Brampton won 5 in a row, lost 5 in a row, snapped the streak, and hoping to get things back on the right track.
Yeah, I mean, in that game, it was just such a domination from the front court of Scarborough. And now with Sims out, with Bediako out, it's a completely different game. And Brampton did something really smart, which was go at Frank Mitchell, cause him to get 3 fouls, and now you don't have Frank Mitchell to go to either. So that gives Brampton a really good shot tonight without that.
So this game playing a little differently. Here's Hunter. He can't find any luck from deep.
No, and they need him. They're 3 of 13 now from deep, Brampton is, and they need Hunter to get it going.
Powell, acrobatic pass on the baseline, goes out of bounds, and it was off of Taj Green and Brandon Muntu.
Yeah, I'm surprised that was off Brampton. It looked like Scarborough hit it last. Just a little too much mustard on the pass from Powell there.
Jaden Campbell back in the game for Scarborough. Final 66 seconds of the half. Tynes. He's got 10 points to start. Powell in the corner. Miller offensive board. Tynes trying to find an angle. He's got the mismatch on Moncrief. Instead, Moncrief pushes it out to the perimeter, and the 3-ball no good from Miller as it goes out of bounds again.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened with Brampton not getting an easy rebound, going off a foot, going out of bounds. And the margins against a team like Scarborough are so thin, you can't make plays like that.
And they're going to bring in one of the rebounding specialists, Keon Ambrose Hilton. Powell. Powell driving baseline, kicks into the corner, Wise for 3. Brampton finally grabs the rebound, and it's Hunter. Looking up floor, Moncrief bodying inside, and that was shoulder to shoulder.
Really good decision by Hunter there. No reason to take it yourself or to do anything too quick. Find the hot hand, which has been Moncrief all half. And Moncrief, I'm really impressed with him because we've seen some games this season where he settles for a jump shots too often, where he's not the aggressor. But tonight, I think every single shot he's had, he's just taken it into somebody's body and then gone up. So there's a reason he's back at the line right now.
He had a season low, 2 points in 16 minutes, both lows on this 2026 season for him against the Shooting Stars in their last meeting. And like we said to you earlier, he's rounding it out a lot better. He's got 12 points, 5 boards in the first half and about 13 and change. Now giving 13 points.
Yeah, and without real rim protection from Scarborough, he can do this all game. There's no reason why he shouldn't continue going at them because, you know, especially when Frank Mitchell is off, they don't have a lot of rim protection on this team.
6-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Miller trying to bully inside. Flowers pulls down the rebound. Brampton will play for 1. Final 10 seconds of the half. Trenton Flowers, he's had the hot hand, got 14 points, a team high. Flowers trying to shake his man. 1 second to beat the buzzer. Oh! Trenton Flowers in the nick of time.
He was looking for that 3 the whole time. He wanted to shoot that 3, and it's about as loud as I've heard it here in the CAA Centre. They are cheering on the new guy, Flowers, and they're loving this right now.
Trenton Flowers is a showman. It's a big triple to close out the half as the Honey Badgers +3 through 2. We're going to send it over to Francisca, who's standing by with Matthew Moncrief.
Matthew, you guys are doing way better on the boards this game. How important has that been to keeping the game close?
It's definitely one of the main focus points we had all week coming into this game was just, you know, boxing out, being physical, and being very aggressive on the glass. So I thought we did a pretty good job. Just got to keep doing it.
And what are some of the key things that you guys want to fix going into the second half?
Maybe some turnovers, better shot selections, but mainly just keep playing with the same pace, just limit the turnovers, and just limit them to 1 shot.
Perfect, thanks. Good luck in the second. Matt?
13 points and 5 rebounds for Matthew Moncrief in the first half. A 3-point lead for Brampton over Scarborough halfway through. Stick around. We've got plenty more action coming your way on the other side. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Smart. Once again, if we can roll this time, he throws it up and Moore cleans it up.
Watching it here.
And you don't want.
This has been a fun matchup to watch. Tay Donald and Dunmar. And Donald wins this one, stealing it away. Leaves it for King. Throw it down hard, big fella. Full advantage of the timeout to express his opinion to the official. I think his complaint is that Tay Donald used a very similar arm technique to what was called on, on that score, saying
Long on the safety valve. Here's Caillot back with it. Dancing against Johnson. Caillot and denied. Coulthard back with it. Montreal starting to fence. And here is Gurian. And 1.
And now, here it is. Here's Nathan Caillot to the hoop. Quincy Guerrier with a 2-handed block. Runs the floor. Creates the contact from
Cleveland once again. Ottawa has numbers. It's Elvis. Finds Fudge trailing. The layup drop. And the Ottawa Blackjacks win the game. And here is Fudge finishing it with the left hand.
And who else to finish?
Fudge. What a game for Fudge. 22 points.
Cal Tire, proud partner and tire expert of the CEBL. Shop top tire brands and have peace of mind with Cal Tire's price match guarantee. Shop and book at caltire.com.
Singers have come back from 12 down in target score time. Do they have one more stop and score? Dunmartin for the win! Missed it! Rebound to Davis. Stinger fans are loving this. Hornsby, Boursier, Davis, driving, up high, got it! Stingers win! Stingers win! They come all the way back! Baz Davis Jr. What a finish! What a finish to the game, and what a finish on that score. That high off the glass, with pressure on his body. That's a high level of skill. Well, we talked about it. How often have we seen in target time? It looks like one team is in control. was trying to do the math while I was talking, and it wasn't working very well. Thanks for bailing me out. Appreciate that.
Cleveland now. Fudge once again. This time he drives it, absolutely throws it down. Alex Fudge with authority. Dumps it off. Caio pump fakes. Can't get that one to go. And Cleveland quickly up ahead. Harmon lobs it and Moore finishes it with 2 hands. Count it. One more at the line for Isaiah Moore.
Finishing essentially both quarters with shot clock violation when technically that's when your players...
Oh! What a shot there by Jarkel Joyner Knight.
Wow. We've seen a couple of buzzer beaters. The entire...
Isaiah Fox is still talking to the referees. A half-court shot for Nuga. Oh my goodness! And that kind of sums up this second quarter. It's in a 6-point Stingers lead after 20 minutes of play. The Mamba need to go back to the drawing board. And the Stingers, they're feeling good right now, Eric.
Yeah, the Mamba have to be really upset by that. They only had 4 plays.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh, yeah. Like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
Back inside the CAA Centre, the Brampton Honey Badgers with a 3-point lead over the Scarborough Shooting Stars here on Sunday CEBL action. I'm Matt Bonomi alongside Oren Weisfeld. And Oren, this half for the Scarborough Shooting Stars, a couple of challenges here. Frank Mitchell, 3 personal fouls. He's on the bench, so into trouble early. But Miles Powell has certainly picked things up, 13 and White with 13 points. He's done some damage.
Yeah, Miles Powell doing what he always does. Doesn't really matter who's around him because he's such a tough shot maker. He can make it work no matter what, and he's really kept their offense alive. In moments where they need it, he's gone to the free throw line. He's knocked down threes, but they are going to need other people to step up in the second half. You can't just rely on Powell.
Yeah, you get some help from David Mooncat and company there, as you see in our first half highlights. And the 3-ball has been a bit of an issue for the Shooting Stars team. Just 3 of 15 so far.
Yeah, both teams, right? Both teams really struggling to shoot the ball tonight. And I don't think it's that they've got bad looks. For the most part, they're gotten pretty good looks and probably look to see it open up as the game goes on. But that's one way that, you know, these teams can open up the game because it's been so fast, it's so back and forth, that if one of these guys starts knocking down more threes, then we could quickly see a lead opening up.
Now, Trenton Flowers for Brampton with 17 points. That's a game high, including that big 3-ball to close out the half. They're going to need all that energy they can get here in the second half to hold down this top team in the East.
It's been a great start for Brampton. I mean, if you told them you can go into the half up 3 against Scarborough in your building, I'm sure they would take it. And the way they closed the quarter specifically, Flowers is the guy. With Sean East, it's become very clear that Flowers is the guy who gets the last shot, who gets to create. And between him and Moncrief, Brampton looks pretty good offensively.
Moncrief with 13 points and 5 rebounds as well. Okay, let's take a look at the halftime stats here. That field goal percentage, a whopping 50% for Brampton. The 3-pointer, a little rough for both sides, but the field goal percentage is really what stands out here.
Yeah, Brampton, you know, you and Joe, you guys have talked all season about the shot selection, right? Sometimes guys on this team have looked a little selfish, taking early shot clock opportunities, taking long threes. I don't think we've seen any of that tonight. Brampton's moving the ball well, they're attacking the paint, and as a result, they're shooting 50% from the field today.
So 44 rebounds per game. That's first in the Canadian Elite Basketball League for the Shooting Stars. They're on pace for that. But the Honey Badgers, right there, neck and neck on all the stats. A 3-point lead for Brampton over Scarborough at the halfway mark. We're going to take a short break. Second half action coming up. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Lotto Max now has more?
Oh, yeah. Like up to 90 new prizes of $100,000 on every draw.
Yeah, right. And aliens exist.
What? Lotto Max has more prizes?
Yep, that's more chances to win.
Sure, and horses can fly.
No way.
Cool.
The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa, thanks.
That's my job.
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do. The CDIC was established by the Government of Canada to protect deposits in case of bank failure. Coverage is free and automatic when you bank with a member institution.
Whoa. Thank you. That's my job. So you were saying...
Protecting your deposits, that's what we do.
Most of our clients who come through our door and who are suffering from mental illness, they're feeling a sense of despair and a longing for help. Often, insurance companies are denying disability claims on the basis that there's insufficient medical evidence. We've represented hundreds of clients who suffer from anxiety or depression. We fight for our clients' right to receive the compensation they deserve. If you've been denied long-term disability, don't give up. We can help.
Your long-term disability firm, Kotak Law.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
Coach, it's been a really tight game the first half. What do you want your guys to come out with the second?
I think we just the defensive end. I think we just got to lock in a little bit more on what our scout is. Get back on defense, build our defense, and just force them into scenarios that, or force other personnel to beat us.
And they have done much better on the boards compared to the last game. How important is it for your team to match that physicality?
I think, at the end of the day, the effort plays is what's going to separate two good teams. I think there's talent on both sides, but again, whoever wins the effort plays, rebounding, transition points, that might be the separator today.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in a second. Matt?
Good stuff. Thank you, Francisco. Back inside the CAA Centre, let's revisit our players to watch. Oren, you had Frank Mitchell and Matthew Moncrief selected before the game, and this has been kind of a one-sided battle, very much in favor of the Honey Badgers.
Yeah, and you didn't really expect this when Frank Mitchell is one of the players to watch, because he's been so dominant, so consistent all season. But foul trouble, as you noted, has been his one Achilles heel, and it really hurt him in the first half. Just 5 points and 4 rebounds. And on the other side of the ledger is Matthew Moncrief, who I just think had one of his better halves of the season, consistently taking it into the cup, not settling for jump shots, being the aggressor, making Scarborough feel him. But Frank Mitchell, as you see in these highlights, he's a very special player offensively, and they're going to need a lot more from him in the second half if they're going to be able to kind of stay with the Brampton's offensive firepower, because Brampton has a lot, and you're seeing it come to life tonight.
Those kids having some fun right there. Let's have some more fun here by checking out the updated standings brought to you by Red Tag. It's the path to the playoffs, and the Eastern Conference is a bloodbath, for lack of better term. Scarborough Shooting Stars on top there. Everyone chasing Scarborough, who can't seem to lose right now. As we mentioned earlier, they could very well be 15-0 at this point. But 2 games separate 3 teams in Brampton, Montreal, and Ottawa. And this is important, too, because second place hosts a home game in the playoffs. So that second position right there that Brampton is currently in is very important.
It is, and I mean, that's one of the reasons that we talk about the CAA Centre so much. Playoff games in your building, that is how you create this momentum. That's how you start to get more and more fans in the door, knowing who the team is, becoming lifelong fans. And so getting a home game in the playoffs is a huge deal. And on the other side, you know, it's human nature for Scarborough to take their foot off the pedal when you have won almost every single game. You have such a big gap in the standings. And it's impressive to me that this season they don't seem to be putting their foot off the gas at all. It seems like every game is a must-win for them.
And on the Western Conference side of things, Winnipeg and Vancouver, that's going to be a dogfight the rest of the season, both at 9-5 records. Of course, Vancouver making some news today as head coach Kyle Julius stepping away from the team. So he is no longer with the Bandits. They have a change of guard there. But that team is so powerful that you don't have to worry about them at all. They'll meet 2 more times this season, July 23rd and August 2nd. And that August 2nd match closes out the season as well. Yeah. So it'll come right down to the wire.
We talk a lot about the CEBL being a turnover league in terms of player turnover, where there's constantly guys in, constantly guys out. You don't see it that much at the coaching ranks, at the head coaching ranks. For a team that was at the top of the Western Conference especially, you don't often see a team that good replacing their coach midway through the season. That's tough. I mean, it's not an easy transition to make, but Vancouver will be, to me, one of the most interesting teams in the whole league because, like you said, they have the upside, they have the star power to compete, but it's a brand new coach midway through the season. That's not easy.
And Kyle Julius' players speaking so highly of him as a leader, so they will continue on the legacy out west. In the meantime, Brampton Honey Badgers looking to keep things rolling here at the CAA Centre, make it 2 wins in a row if they can. Of course, without Sean East, who's at Summer League with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Cam Tyson, who's away with Golden State. As for the Shooting Stars, winners of 3 in a row, a win over Brampton, and then 2 times a home-and-home back-to-back wins over Montreal. Second half underway. Tynes with the ball in his hand as the Shooting Stars start with the rock. Miller, Mooncat, Tynes, Powell, and Walker on the floor for Scarborough. Here's Walker pushing inside. Moncrief, good defense, but a better finish by Anthony.
It's a really tough bucket, but good defense by Brampton. Just made him finish over top of them, and he did. Here we see Moncrief handling again.
Moncrief trying inside into the corner. That's Hunter. He's joined by Moon2, Flowers, and Hamilton, who's got the rock. Hamilton tosses up and hits.
That's what he did a really good job of last game, making 2 threes, and has 2 again this game.
Mooncat inside. Everybody bites on the fake, and Mooncat's got an easy 2.
Yeah, they were confused on defense, didn't know who the matchups were, and gave up an easy layup there. But again, out of half, 2 possessions in a row, they want Moncrief handling.
Moncrief, and it should be offensive, and it is. So Moncrief now with 3 personal fouls, as Walker did a good job of standing tall down low. That'll be something to keep an eye on, those 3 personals.
Yeah, that is the risk, right? When you have Moncrief going downhill so often, Scarborough obviously knows it's coming now, makes the adjustment to kind of beat him to the spot, and now you see Moncrief coming out of the basketball game with 3 fouls. But yeah, I think Coach Serta just told him don't expect to sit for too long because it's only 3 fouls, and they're going to need him soon. Bit of a smaller look for Brampton now with Moncrief out of the game too. 3-guard lineup.
Flowers and Hamilton providing that size. Good defense there from Moon2, cutting off the pass that was intended for Miller. Head coach Serta telling his team to run, and Omajafo, who's in the game, turns it over right away. Powell chased from behind, and he beats the defender and beats the rim.
Yeah, Omajafo just a little sleepy coming into the game there, throwing a really awkward pass.
Moon2, 3-ball off the back rim. Tynes and Miller, a little hot potato back and forth. Here's Tynes, driving inside, stuffed it on the bottom of the rim, wanted the call, won't get it. Flowers Looking into the corner. He's got Moontu. Pocket triple is cash.
I talked earlier about Flowers needing to just make the right read, and there he did. You know, they're so afraid of his scoring punch. They're going to pack the paint, and there he just made the right read. Easy pass, easy three.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Miller. Walker. Tynes gets the lane and gets the bucket.
Flowers, you know, he's listed at 6'9", and the hair gives him like 2 more inches. And to be able to handle the ball like he does, almost like a point guard at 6'9", he's a really tough guy in this league, especially to stop.
Moontu tries from the other side, and this time it works.
Hits the 3, goes straight up to Miles Powell, gets in his face. That's what they're going to need for him.
Need that intensity here. Powell's a gamer. He'll respond to it. Mooncat in his own battle.
Look at them now. They're talking.
Moontu and Powell getting into it here. You know, these teams don't like each other.
Really?
I mean, I can tell you that for free. Here's Frank Mitchell checking into the game. So is Keon Ambrose Hilton. As you see this battle down low, Mooncat. Mojafo gets a hand in there.
But off to the side, Moontu had something to say to Mitchell first. Maybe saying, I'm keeping up with you this half. I'm right with you. I got 2 threes. He's right there. And that's a miss from Mooncat. Crowd got into that one. They forced 2 misses. I'm going to give that one to the CAA Centre crowd right there. It's 2 points for them.
So the former Honey Badger, 0 for 2 at the line this time down. Here's Hamilton. 10 on the shot clock. Acrobatic shot there, and Frank Mitchell comes down with the rebound. 4-point lead for Brampton. Mitchell inside. Had to dish it. Tynes, soft finish. He averages 7 a game. He's got 14 right now, and we're about halfway through the third.
Yeah, it's a really good cut. Good find by Mitchell.
Hunter. Goes behind the back. He's got Hamilton. Hamilton settles for the Jimmy. Can't get the roll. And Mitchell just got hit with his 4th personal foul.
And a lot of his fouls, you know, he's probably going to have to leave the game a lot again. It's not like his fouls tonight have been meeting guys at the rim, you know, like challenging guys in the right position. They've been kind of reach-ins or silly fouls on offense, and you can't do that when, again, Charles Bidiaka is out here and you have limited depth.
Yeah, they're leaving him in the game for now. Into the corner, Hamilton. Not going to get it, and now we most likely will have this change as Khalil Miller. He'll come in the game, so it will be Mitchell heading to the bench.
Yeah, and that's the right decision. I mean, they need Frank Mitchell to close out this game, where at some point they're going to need his offensive firepower, and you just can't risk 4 fouls with 6 minutes left in the third quarter to have a guy out there.
In the meantime, Brampton will try to go back to work here, take advantage of the Frank Mitchell free lineup. Here's Powell driving inside, pulled down by Ambrose Hilton. Numbers for Brampton if they go. Bench telling them to. Powell really slow to get back on defense here. Moontu, does he have another? Not this time. Grabs the offensive board and goes up. Oh, Ambrose Hilton able to elevate for it. He's in a battle with 3 white jerseys.
That was a battle.
And they're going to call a jump ball as Miller and Ambrose Hilton went toe-to-toe. Tyrell Vernon furious on the sidelines.
But you have to just really appreciate how these 2 teams are playing tonight. I mean, they're both playing incredibly hard. It's like a playoff game, honestly, the way that they're diving for these balls, fighting for these loose balls. These teams both, again, don't like each other and really want this win, and it's enjoyable to watch.
As we've been told, it's all love off of the floor, but
yeah, sure.
When they get between the lines here, Hunter to beat the buzzer. Oh, my goodness! Tyrese Hunter all the way from the parking lot.
That's his first 3 of the game, and His last couple were pretty far off too, so for him to get that one, just he needed a little bit more distance, that's all.
Hunter pulls down the rebound. Check in with Francisca, who's got more on Hunter.
Big three from Tyrese there, and another one. When I spoke to Tyrese a couple days ago, he jokingly told me that he calls himself the general of the team, saying when he's in charge, things tend to go well. He's confident in his role as one of the leaders in this group and believes his teammates trust him to run things on the floor and keep everyone organized. Matt?
Good stuff. Thank you, Francisca. An 8-point lead for the Brampton Honey Badgers. More Tyrese Hunter coming your way in just a moment. Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body. You fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Welcome back to the CAA Centre, everyone. I'm here joined by Coach Jay Triano. Coach, how are you, first of all?
First of all, great. Thank you. Yeah. Anytime I can watch basketball, it's a good day.
Now, the Team Canada just came up with a win against Puerto Rico and Hamilton. What stood out to you in that game yesterday?
Just the commitment from our players, and the more they play together, the better they're going to be. And I like to see everybody out there, even the guys that didn't play, supporting each other. It's gonna, to win at the world level, you're gonna have to be a team, and they're starting to show it.
And you've seen the growth of Canadian basketball throughout the years. What excites you the most about the future?
Oh man, just the number of players and playing at such a high level in our country, and it shows with our national team, but it also shows in the CEBL. You got basketball. When it's on TV, when it's around, when you can watch games all the time, it's just great for the sport and it's great for our country.
And how important has the CEBL become in helping Canadians get opportunities?
Fantastic. I wish it was when I played. I wish it was there. So many times we had to go overseas to play. You had to find ways to play in a game, but to have it in our country, it's just going to help grow the sport, and it's going to help grow the sport for young people that come out and watch the game as well.
You can still play. Go get your basketball shoes. You'll be good.
I can't play anymore.
All right, thanks, Coach. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Matt?
Good stuff. Thank you, guys. It's interesting watching Jay Triano as Hunter, late in the shot clock. Doesn't have it this time. Powell's got the board. He's got Cat Barber with him. 2-on-1 for the Shooting Stars. Powell calls his own number.
He's been aggressive in transition all night, and now holding his leg a little bit there. Got hit pretty hard, but that's where his easiest baskets have come. In the half court, Miles Powell is at the top of every team's scouting report, so he's not getting anything even remotely easy in the half court, but in transition, that's when he can usually get to the cup and make a little bit easier things happen.
And to wrap up that point on Jay Triano, the interesting thing is when he walked in the gym today, he had about 15 people surrounding him, and they were personnel from the Brampton team, the Scarborough team, and they want to learn from one of Canada's and the game's best.
And it's more the person, honestly, than the coach. Like, you'll be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't like Jay Triano for the opportunities that he's given players and coaches. And he's just a really good guy. He spends his off-seasons, as you see, in Canada, going back, giving back to the game, showing up at Canada games, at CEBL games. He's a mentor. As he calls himself on Instagram, Canada's coach. That's what he is.
So Powell converts the three-point play. He's got 18 points. Averages 25 a game. That foul on David Mooncat. That's his second personal foul. So Powell, in 14 games now, he's got 13 double-digit point games. The only game that he didn't hit that double-digit point category was against Brampton. He only had 7, and that was because of that ejection.
Yeah, I think he's the most inevitable guy in the league right now, just in terms of he's going to get his every single game as Flowers goes down there. But my question really would be for the 15 minutes left in this game is who's going to step up on Brampton and help him? You know, Frank Mitchell's out of the game with 4 fouls. Tynes and Mooncat, they're not necessarily score-first guys. Barber has had a slow start to the game. So who's going to step up? Who's going to be their secondary scorer? Because Scarborough's stuck 5 here already, and Powell's really the only one who has it going on the offense.
Flowers at the stripe. Brampton 7 of 13 from the line, now 8 of 14. So they've struggled. As Flowers dumps in his 18th point. And he's got 19 now. Flowers has an interesting high schoolish prep career, Huntington Prep and Sierra Canyon. Those are 2 of the most highly touted prep schools and programs.
And then he goes to Australia, right? Straight out of high school instead of college. He goes to Australia to play pro.
Bet on himself, and it worked out. Flowers goes baseline. Ambrose Hilton inside. Ise's got the offensive board. He needs some help now. Barber all over him. And a jump ball is called.
They're taking it to them, Brampton. Right now they have 3 guys on the court, 4 guys on the court, you know, over 6'7". They got a ton of size, and it's really showing on the boards. They're in everything.
Powell can't hit the 3 this time. Offensive board for the Shooting Stars. Mooncat. No luck on the 3, and finally Brampton comes away with it. It's Moontu. He's got 6 boards with 9 points, looking for 2 more. Offensive foul call.
Yeah, Cat Barber did a really good job there. Just predicted the play, beat him to the spot, and it was a pretty easy call for the official there on the charge.
So Barber draws the foul against Moontu, picks up his 3rd as Tynes checks back in. Mooncat headed to the bench with 3:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Brampton clinging to this 7-point lead. Curious to see when they bring Frank Mitchell back in the game.
Yeah, for sure. Also curious what's the defense on Powell going to be here, because at a certain point they're going to just start showing 2 bodies to him, right? There it is.
Good defense here from Brampton, making Powell squirm. Here's Walker, 3 ball.
Again, nobody else has it, so why not show Powell extra attention, make these other Scarborough players beat you? And that's what they've done in the last couple of possessions, and Scarborough's just missed the 3s.
Head Coach Serta has done a good job of deploying his bench here, mixing and matching players. Hamilton will check back in on the next whistle. Into the corner, Ambrose Hilton, who's been effective off the bench. 2 seconds, Flowers got to get it up to beat the buzzer. Hits rim, Ambrose Hilton tips it, and Barber comes away. Powell in transition. Walker wants it. Instead, Powell takes it to the rack.
Nice job by Powell there. Even though the defender was coming at him, he almost put a little bit too much on it, but he really, that's a nice finish there. He made it look a lot easier than it was.
Oh, Cat Barber with the steal and the bucket, and a timeout on the floor. That is vintage Cat Barber showing off the quick reflexes for a bucket.
Yeah, and that's the second time Brampton's got picked at half court, and they've been in charge of this game. They've been leading this whole game, but those kind of, I don't want to call it lazy plays, but almost sleepy plays, you can't let that happen. You might be up 10, whatever it might be. You can't let those plays happen against Scarborough, because they can come back in this game in a snap of a finger.
Of course, they had a crazy 19-point target score time comeback. I was on the call there with Deshaun Stevens and Esper Henny, and that was a crazy game against Saskatoon in the ends. That's the beauty of target score time as well, right? You're never really out of a game, especially when you have stars like these 2 teams do.
Yeah, no, I think it's the best part of this league. I'm a big proponent of target score time. I was thinking maybe recently, what if we did at 2 minutes instead of 4? Give us even a little more basketball.
Okay.
But no, I'm a big fan of target score time, and yeah, especially watching Scarborough. They're like so inevitable in target score time. It just does not feel like they lose. Like they just had a 2-point win over Montreal the other day where it wasn't going good, but somehow they figure it out in target time, and they always seem to get that last basket when it matters most. So yeah, if you're Brampton, you want to build up a nice cushion for yourself if you can, because especially this Brampton group without Sean East, you know, typically they have him in target score time. He's their guy. This team hasn't been in a close game yet with these newcomers. So what's going to happen when the pressure's on? It's a lot harder when you don't have that kind of tried and true formula.
So they called on the newcomer, Justin Hamilton, last game. He picked up the target score time winner. Here he is, Hamilton. Just off to Hunter. Hunter inside, blows right by Khalil Miller for 2.
Yeah, Hunter's gotten better as this game's gone on.
3 ball up and 3 ball good. So that was Jaden Campbell who knocked down from the corner.
Jaden Campbell, he's a Toronto guy.
And he's made this a 2-point game. 66-64.
It's actually a Brampton guy, Jaden Campbell, Brampton native.
Hunter, oh, he's a 3-point shooter. Tyrese has another.
He's really gotten comfortable as the game's gone on, right? That's 3 threes in the second half for Tyrese Hunter.
13 points, 5 assists, 3 boards. Tyrese Hunter really putting on. Back-to-back double-digit point games entering this afternoon's contest. Now give him 3 in a row. First time he's done that since May.
They needed him to play well tonight with the kind of lack of guard depth they have right now. And again, he's their vet.
Khalil Miller spins and fired a dart at the rim there.
Miller just, you know, you take him for granted for this team, but doesn't matter who's in the lineup, who's out of the lineup. He can play the 4, he can play the 5 for you. Tonight he's playing a lot of the 5.
Hunter trying his lock. Oh, his hands are hot, folks.
He made his defender slip there.
Hunter now 16 points, back-to-back 3 balls, corner. No good by Campbell. And that goes out of bounds, so Brampton getting the run they needed.
This is Scarborough right now without Powell on the floor, without Frank Mitchell on the floor, right? And they're down 6 right now. These are really crucial minutes to be able to find something.
Hunter high-stepping, and that might have been a heat check shot.
Yeah, it's a 2-for-1, though. It's okay. Otherwise, wouldn't be the best shot.
Absolutely. Tynes drives. Ambrose Hilton gets fingertips on it.
Now maybe just calm down.
4-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Omojafo drives and pulls things out. Head coach Serta saying play for 1 here. Hunter. He has been the man this quarter. Doing it all from deep. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Guarded by Barber. Hunter. That one's short. Board pulled down by the Shooting Stars. Almost turned over. Campbell's got a fire to beat the buzzer. Oh, come on.
Goodness.
You thought you've seen it all. Well, you haven't seen Jaden Campbell.
He passed it, went off the defender right back in his arms, and somehow he managed to still get the shot off in time. That was an incredible shot.
Unbelievable. Jaden Campbell, the money ball from half court to close out the quarter. Oh, more fireworks on the other side. 4th quarter coming your way. Stick around. You're watching CEBL basketball on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
You don't just fuel your body. You fuel your drive. We're not here to preach hustle. We're here for the ones who show up. You know who you are. The moms who make mornings feel like magic. The runners lacing up before the scroll. The dreamers writing it down before it's real. And we're here for you. Real fruit, real fuel. Booster Juice. Fuel for what's next.
Did you know that every CEBL game ends on a game-winning bucket? Yep, every single one. That's because we use something called target score ending, a thrilling twist that keeps fans locked in till the final shot. So what is the target score ending? Here's how it works. The first time the clock stops with 4 minutes or less left in the 4th quarter, the game clock is turned off. We enter target score time. We take the leading team score, add 9 points, and that becomes the target score. Let's say it's 91 to 80. That means the first team to hit 100 wins. No ticking clock, no intentional fouls, just pure clutch basketball. It's fast, it's electric, and it guarantees that every game ends with a bang. Experience the target score ending this CEBL season.
Jaden Campbell connects from way downtown to cut the lead to just 3 points. Boy, we have seen it all here this afternoon in the CAA Centre.
Yeah, he passed it to himself, and you saw the Brampton players coming back just laughing because there really wasn't anything anybody could do about that. But Jaden Campbell getting to play in his hometown, a Brampton guy, played in Czech Republic last season and was named to the Canadian men's team at the AmeriCup last summer too on the training camp there.
And getting the roll there was Omajafo. So he opens the scoring here in this fourth quarter. Hitting the deck there. Brampton trying to pull things together on defense, and they do. Green gets in the way. He comes away with the steal. Here's Hunter. Tynes was causing problems from behind, and instead Hunter settles for the elbow Jimmy. Driving back the other way, Campbell was smoked on his way to the net.
Yeah, Brampton looks really comfortable on offense right now between Hunter and Flowers. It just feels like they have two guys who feel like they can win their matchup each time. Defensively, though, you keep seeing these kind of right there, you know, just getting beat back down the floor in transition. So defensively, Brampton's still making some mistakes that is allowing Scarborough to stay in this game. But if they can just clean up the kind of fundamentals, they should be in good shape.
Driving inside, Hunter off the window. This guy is unstoppable right now.
Yeah, they need to keep giving him the ball because he's feeling it. He's hot from every area of the floor. And Frank Mitchell needs to get himself going. He looks super uncomfortable in this game offensively. That's the thing about foul trouble.
Here's Mitchell.
And see, that's what I mean. He's trying to get himself into this game just because he hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but he's pushing himself. He's forcing it.
This time, Hunter dishes, and it's Omajafo joining the fun from deep.
It's another big three. Brampton shot the ball really well in this half compared to the first.
It's a shootout right now. Kellen Tynes finds the bottom of the bucket. Green.
Yeah, as I mentioned, they only had 3 threes in the first half. They're already up to 11 now in the game. Brampton is, so.
Here's Walker driving inside.
And Hunter thought he had his hand on the ball there. He didn't think that was a foul. But that's exactly what Scarborough needs to do to get back in this game. Just keep getting the line, keep the scoreboard moving.
Flowers back in the game for Brampton with 7:46 to go. We're about 3 and change away from our target score time here at the CAA Centre. Moncrief also back into the game. Muntu also coming back in, so a flurry of substitutions here for head coach Alex Serta. As we say hello and welcome to those joining us from the CBC National Broadcast, Calgary and Vancouver. We're enjoying some bonus coverage here between the Brampton Honey Badgers and Scarborough Shooting Stars, top 2 teams in the East going toe-to-toe. So second free throw is up and good by Walker, and Mitchell back in the game. We guessed earlier when he would come back in the game with 4 personal fouls, but it looks like it's go time now for Tyrell Vernon.
Yeah, I'm really watching Frank Mitchell here because let's see this play out with Moncrief driving.
Matthew Moncrief, Josh Omajafo challenging inside. Josh Omajafo with a strong take for 2 more.
I just think Frank Mitchell is a young guy, right? It's his first pro season. He has a lot of hype. It's been a great season. But how do you get yourself going in a game like this where you have no rhythm?
Campbell slips. Tynes able to create some space. Misses the 3, and Omajafo right below the rim, able to scoop up the loose ball.
How do you figure out ways to help your team even when things aren't, it's not your night if you're Frank Mitchell, but how do you figure out ways to get your team, if it's rebounds, if it's loose balls, you know, if it's drawing fouls, whatever it might be, there's other ways to affect the game besides what he normally does, which is score at such a high level. So let's see what Frank Mitchell gives to his team in the fourth quarter.
Mooncat back in the game on the whistle there. That was an Omajafo turnover. Here's Powell, steps up, knocks it down. Another 3 for Miles Powell.
Yeah,
he's got 23 points.
Sorry, too easy though. If you're Brampton, again, be more aggressive on the coverage with Powell and make the other guys beat you. But Powell should not be the guy at this point in the game in the fourth quarter when he's the only guy that has it going to beat you.
Moncrief spinning inside. Picture perfect stuff from Matthew.
That's tough to guard. That is just so tough. It reminds me of Pascal Siakam's spin move, honestly.
Moncrief has 15 points, 5 boards. Playing with 3 fouls. Powell, another. Oh, you bet. Miles Powell, unstoppable.
Miles Powell, Mr. Inevitable. Yeah, I think I just heard the Brampton bench say 2 to the ball. So they're not going to let Miles Powell beat them anymore, just shooting jump shots over them.
Lead down to 4. Here's Hamilton. Thought about the triple over Big Frank, and he knocks it down.
That's a huge shot and a huge pickup. Probably less talked about than Flowers just because of the nature of his game, Hamilton, but...
Challenging inside. That was Mitchell who gets the last laugh on that possession.
But Hamilton's been really solid tonight. Two-way presence, knocking down 3 threes. Good D, good rebounding. He's just a guy who's stepped into his first season in the CEBL and made it look pretty easy.
Here's Moncrief. Over to Omajafo. Omajafo driving inside, cuts to his right. Oh, Josh Omajafo back at it.
That was a tough Euro step finish because the defender was in his way. He had to walk around him and finish that. And again, but Powell here.
Powell. Can't hit this time. Offensive board picked up and dropped through by Walker. Brampton going back the other way now. Let's check in with Francisca, who has more on Justin Hamilton.
Talking about Hamilton, sorry. Even though he just arrived, Justin says the team already makes him feel like this is a brotherhood. He mentioned the guys made him feel comfortable immediately, and he already feels a part of the group even after a few days. His mindset is simple: make the biggest impact possible right away. Don't overcomplicate things and just play the game and contribute where he can, and that's exactly what you see him doing here tonight.
Good stuff. Thank you, Francisca. Good defensive stop there. Right player, right time. Justin Hamilton contributing down low to get the stop on D. Here's Moontu. 9 points, 6 boards, 5 helpers. Offensive board by Moncrief. He was stripped, but he's got 6 rebounds now. Tynes back the other way, driving. Walker chooses to go to the right, and a foul is called.
Brampton got unlucky on that foul call. Didn't look like a whole lot of contact, but look, the possession before that, where Brampton gets back in transition D, stops it, that to me is the one that if they go on to win this game is the one we need to highlight, because the hustle to get back, you know, they did not have numbers, to get back for Brampton and to get that stop, I just think really, really good job for them. They had a clear initiative here that they weren't going to get back beaten in transition, and in the second half they've done a really good job with it.
So first free throw no good by Walker. We know our target score time total will be 99 points. Honey Badgers up 4 over the Shooting Stars here in the Flower City. Can they hold on and take down the Beasts of the East? Find out on the other side. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
Let's bring it on. It's game time. It's showtime. Oh, and it goes. Nick Hornsby. Here's Oakland for the win. You gotta love a Canadian coach. Two hands. Oh, what a block from behind.
Next bucket wins.
Target score time is the best time of a game. The energy, the drama.
That anything can happen. Oh my goodness! Can you believe this guy?
Big players step up in big time. He is cooking.
Inside the CAA Centre, Mappanome alongside Oren Weisfeld and Francisca Opong. It's target score time between the Brampton Honey Badgers and Scarborough Shooting Stars. One of the things that's really stuck out in this game, Oren, has been the rebounding battle. Of course, we mentioned the first time these teams met this season, it was a large discrepancy and it was in favor of the Shooting Stars. This time around, it's more of an even ball game.
Yeah, Scarborough's the best rebounding team in the league by a lot. They average 4 more rebounds than the second best team, and last game, it was 73-51 in favor of Scarborough when they played Brampton a week ago. This game, 39-35 in favor of Brampton. So, you know, we heard that Serta focused on it all week. The rebounding was going to be the priority, and they've really, it's given them a really good shot. But up 4 target time, we know what Scarborough does in target time. This is it. This is what we play for. Let's get it.
Hunter with the ball. Let's get it is right. These two teams, they've had this circled on their calendar, and they both want this win. Former Honey Badger David Mooncat with a lane and with a tough two-hand slam.
That's the one thing about Flowers today is it's been a bit of a loose handle, you know? And, yeah, maybe Moncrief, maybe Hunter, maybe those guys handle the ball and get Flowers working off the ball.
Moncrief trying to work inside himself there, lost control. Flowers has it, and he's double-teamed. He's stuck. Good defense there from the Shooting Stars. Hunter thought he was bumped, instead fires up top. Moontu's got to get a shot off, and a foul is called with 1 second on the shot clock. This will be against Kellen Tynes, his second personal.
Yeah, they bailed him out, Scarborough did, because Brampton was running out of shot clock. They passed maybe one too many times looking for pass up a good shot for a great shot, which you don't mind if you're Brampton because that's been kind of the priority this season, but lucky there to get bailed out with the foul call.
So if you're new to target score time, the fouls carry over from the fourth quarter. So every personal matters. Here's Hamilton, 3 seconds on the shot clock, goes out of bounds and off of Mooncat. So the Honey Badgers struggling to get things under control here on offense.
Yeah, that's not good process. Hamilton, you know, dribbling in from the three-point line. That's not what you want to see if you're Brampton. 1 second on the shot clock here, though, it looks like.
Got to get a shot off quick. Hamilton fading into the corner. That's well short. Frank Mitchell there for an easy board, his 5th of the game. Here's Powell cutting inside, adds 2 more. Miles Powell, 28, and a timeout on the floor.
Yeah, too easy for Miles Powell. We talked about it. We heard the coaching staff talk about it. They want them being more aggressive on Miles Powell. They want other people from Scarborough beating them because at the end of the day, Scarborough's guys are just not hitting three-pointers. They are not hitting outside shots. So if you're Brampton, you want to force the ball out of Powell's hands. Maybe you start trapping him. Maybe you start double-teaming him. And you force guys like Mooncat. You know, you force guys like Frank Mitchell and Anthony Walker. You force these guys to make plays to score the ball because if Miles is going to keep getting one-on-one coverage, he's going to keep scoring the ball.
Well, if you're keeping track at home, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Miles Powell leads the Canadian Elite Basketball League in target score time winners with 7. Amir Sims has 3, and Akoy Uat, Trey Thomas, and Frank Mitchell have 1 each for the Shooting Stars. For Brampton, Sean East and Matthew Moncrief have 2 each. Justin Hamilton and Cam Tyson 1 each, and Prince Ojo and Judson Martindale, who are no longer with the team, also had 1 each. So the big shooter in this game is Miles Powell with 7. As you see him there on your screen, 28 points, and he's doing it all this afternoon.
Yeah, we just talked about defensively what Brampton has to do better to beat Powell and Scarborough, which in my opinion is force the ball out of Powell's hands. Offensively, though, they need to get back to what succeeded. What was that? Moncrief with the ball in his hands going to the rim. Hunter with the ball in his hands creating stuff. That's what they need to get back to.
Getting back to it on offense. Hamilton, tough pass down low.
Drew something up, and I think he just tried to make the play that coach wanted instead of reading what the defense was actually giving him.
Powell stepping back. Can't hit. Mitchell offensive board. Fresh 14 for Scarborough. Mitchell fighting for it again. He's got the offensive board once again, and he's got a trip to the line. What an effort from the big fella.
And the reason his teammates are all going up to him is what I talked about earlier. Frank Mitchell has not had a good game, but you can see the coach Vernon has so much trust because he's closing it out with Mitchell, even though he's struggled to find any kind of comfort in this game, and he's rewarding them. That's back-to-back offensive rebounds from Frank Mitchell. That's what he does no matter if he's scoring or not. And he's finding different ways to affect this game. He's stayed in it. You know, he's not letting the lack of scoring, kind of get to him and play any differently. The fact that he has only 7 points, like, he's playing just the same, trying to get himself involved one way or another.
So Mitchell splits. First one to 99 takes all the marbles. Scarborough with their first lead of target score time. Here's Hunter. Flowers. Shakes Mooncat, drives inside, up with the right. All pretty stuff there.
That is a very tough hesitation dribble. Mooncat bit on the 3. He thought he was taking a step back 3, and instead he just drives right past him to get a floater.
Flowers clapping to his bench, trying to get the fellas pumped up here. Powell finds Mitchell on the roll. Mitchell, oh, the big Bonnie dumps in 2.
And that's what I talked about. They put 2 on the ball, forced Mitchell to make a play, and he did. So, again, no easy answers versus Scarborough. But Flowers has to be better with the ball.
Mooncat trying to grab the loose ball. Flowers is going to get charged for the foul here. Kellen Tynes talking to the officials saying should maybe be more than just a personal.
It's his 5th turnover of the game, Flowers, and a few of them have been at half court. So, yeah, again, maybe he shouldn't be the guy who's bringing the ball up the court. Maybe Hunter should be.
Thank you to our CBC national viewers for tuning into this ball game between the Shooting Stars and Honey Badgers.
I just think Flowers, again, this is a guy who's been rehabbing from injury for the last 6 months, hasn't played a game in at least 6 months. You know, to ask him to bring the ball up the court facing pressure from the whole court, maybe that's not the best use of him at this point of the game. Maybe put the ball in Hunter's hand, have Flowers, playing off the ball, and then give him easier stuff that way.
So an unsporting foul called on Flowers. That's why you see Tynes at the line here with no one home.
Yeah, and that's another thing. When you don't, play in the CEBL, you don't know all the differences in the rules. And in the CEBL, if you make a clear path foul like that, it's 2 shots and the ball. So to do that in target time, Scarborough's getting close now.
4 points away are the Shooting Stars. 7 needed by Brampton. 95-92. Powell. This time stopped on the baseline, a rarity, and a foul's called. Mitchell and Mooncat in there. So was Powell. We'll see who it's on. Looks like it's going to be on Miles.
Looked like he hit the ball. Got a little bit unlucky with that one. But there, You saw Brampton's guys just put 2 on the ball each time he ran around a screen. They kept following him, and then there was so many arms he turns the ball over. So good job from Brampton defensively. Offensively, though, it hasn't been good in target time.
Hunter dishes off. Hamilton, floater is cash. Hamilton now up to 17 points. The official calling a timeout, telling the table that Tyrell Vernon wanted a timeout, so they get things sorted out here, and the result of that is a 60-second break here on the floor as the Shooting Stars want to talk shop up 1, 95-94. So they have had a number of options they can go to on the offensive end. Miles Powell has been the go-to guy. Adding Frank Mitchell here down the stretch with 4 personal fouls has helped. But what about Kellen Tynes, who's got 18 points, 6 assists? He has been a huge part of the supporting cast.
He's been really good today, you know, not really taking any jump shots, but just cutting relentlessly. Teammates are finding him, and he's gotten a couple offensive rebounds. He's gotten all his stuff in the paint. Coming out of this timeout, Tyrell Vernon, he's going to want to use Brampton's aggression against them. You know, we just saw in that last play, they're sending 2 to the ball each time Miles Powell comes off a screen. So what does that mean? There's probably going to be an open guy, whether it's Frank Mitchell slipping to the rim, whether it's the weak side for a skip pass. You know, I'm looking for Miles Powell to come out here with the ball in his hands, but probably making a pass and using Brampton's aggressive defense against them here.
So Tynes playing in his 16th game of the season. He's now started 9 of those, got the start today, and he has certainly answered the bell. He'll set to inbound here.
It's such a luxury for Scarborough that they can play so many defensive-minded players around Powell and Frank Mitchell, just because those guys give you such a good base offensively to work with. And here we go.
Powell with the ball in his hands. Trying to go to work, that's Mitchell. He's stuck down low, kicked into the corner, and off the hands of Walker and out of bounds. Crowd into it here, loving the defensive stop.
Tyrese Hunter makes the play there, gets his hand on the ball, which forces the Scarborough player to just tip it out. And Hunter, again, he's been hot man in the second half. Let's see if he takes them home.
Hunter, 20 points. Not going to get a bucket here, and 2 shots coming here. Let's see who it's on. And that'll be on Mooncat. Frank Mitchell held his breath for a moment. Instead, it'll be Mooncat's 3rd personal.
Yeah, the Scarborough bench isn't happy, but both teams now are getting together, huddling up, and talking it over because this is down to the last possessions here. But
Mooncat might have a beef there as Hunter heads to the line.
Yeah, I think, though, the officials in this game, I agree there wasn't much there. I do think, though, they've been pretty consistent throughout this game in that if there is contact, they're calling it pretty much every time at the rim. So at least you can give them that, give them the fact that since the opening tip-off, they've been pretty consistent with whatever kind of marginal contact at the rim, they're calling it.
So Hunter's first trip to the line tonight results in a split. Knotted up at 95. Both teams need 4 points to close it out. Powell. Tynes up top. Mooncat. That one well off the mark. Right into the hands of the Shooting Stars. Mitchell. Second chance is good from Frank.
That's what he does. He gets on the boards and he gets his own boards sometimes. Frank Mitchell has been really big for them in this end of the game here.
Here's Hunter. Ambrose Hilton, 3-ball off the mark. Tynes has it, and the Shooting Stars a chance to close it out.
That's not really his shot. At this point in the game, that's not the best shot.
Miles Powell, 28 points. He is the guy. Powell for the win. Not going to get it.
Wow, you just assume it's going in, honestly. At this point in target time, you assume Miles Powell's shots are going in.
Flowers deep 3, well off the mark, and it's Powell again. Let's see if he calls his own number. Miles Powell inside to Mitchell, and it's picked off.
Hunter again makes the play, got a hand on it, got the turnover. So Tyrese Hunter's been really, really good. But offensively, it's 2 really poor shots for Brampton in a row. They need to calm down.
That they do. Hunter, 3, no good, and Mitchell right there. So for the 3rd time now, Shooting Stars a chance to close it out.
What a game. What a game we got here tonight, though.
Here's Tynes. He's got 18 points. Powell trying to get free. Miles Powell driving inside, not going to get the roll, and Frank the Tank calls game as the East still runs through Scarborough.
Frank the Tank, that's what he does. He got off to a really slow start in this game. His coach trusted him to close out the 4th quarter with 4 fouls the entire 4th quarter. And Frank Mitchell just comes up with offensive rebound after offensive rebound and eventually gets the putback for the game winner here.
Frank Mitchell, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, all with 4 personal fouls.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mentioned Frank Mitchell earlier. I highlighted him as a player of the game. I mentioned he's a young Canadian big for fans to keep an eye out, and a guy who I think the senior men's national team will eventually involve in their program, because games like this are a great reason why. I mean, he doesn't have a good game. He's a young guy in his first pro season. A lot of those guys in that situation would be hesitant, you know, wouldn't necessarily want the ball in the last minute, wouldn't be doing the little things to get his team to win. But he shows a maturity today that I think is really impressive by keeping his head in the game, even though it wasn't his night, and eventually that pays off and he gets the game winner. They don't win this game without him in the 4th quarter. You know, Miles Powell obviously also a guy who you definitely give a lot of credit to, had the ball in his hands all game. 28 points is the game high for him. 4 of 12 from 3. Those 2 really bring it home for Scarborough, and Tynes as well was great.
And that's the thing about this Scarborough Shooting Stars team, a number of options that can get it done no matter what. Miles Powell was the guy this afternoon. He is our Booster Juice player of the game and is now joined by Francisca. Take it away.
All right, Miles, this game stayed close for most of the game. What is it that helped you guys stay composed and just get the dub at the end of it?
Like I told you in the beginning of the game, just us staying together and sticking together. We were short on guys. We missing damn near our whole starting 5. So people going to summer league and having different opportunities and playing with their country and stuff. So like I said, next man up. We stayed together, and that's how we pulled it out today.
You guys find a way to get it done every single time and target score. How do you guys come up with this? Like
I said, that's our culture. So we break the huddle with us, and we've been doing it all year. So it's just good to get back in the win column and get ready for the next one.
And let's talk about the brotherhood amongst you guys. That's the main topic when people talk about Scarborough, the brotherhood. Like, how does it feel to know that you have this type of circle in practice, shoot around, game day, all of that?
It means a lot, because when you lacking confidence in yourself, you have your brothers to lean on. So that's what we did today. Everybody leaned on each other, and we helped pick each other up when we was down.
Perfect, good win, congrats.
It's us, we serious.
Oh, we serious, you hear him. Miles Powell, seriously good tonight, 28 points. Frank Mitchell picks up the winner, and the Shooting Stars pick up another win, their league best 14th of the season. We're going to break it all down on the other side. Stick around. You're watching CEBL Basketball live on CBC Gem, YouTube, and CEBL Plus.
What keeps me going? Under the heat of the sun, or in the heat of the moment. When climbing for even one more second seems like too much. Whether you're reaching for your goal or busy setting new ones, everyone hits their limit, but that limit has a reset. Scientifically formulated to hydrate faster in the moments that matter. Electrolyte, instant hydration.
You know that trip I kept thinking about? I finally took it. It turned into open highways, lakeside stops, sunsets that seemed to last a little longer, less scrolling, more seeing. And at the end of each day, Sandman made it simple. Comfortable stays in the right places, so I could do more. Booking that stay? Best decision I made. Your summer, made in Canada. Book direct for the best rates.
At Cal Tire, we're here to drive the best value around with free rotations, price match, 0% financing, and free flat repairs. We take care of it all for the life of your tires. Chat with our team at caltire.com.
The CEBL, Canada's Pro Basketball League, and redtag.ca brings Canadian basketball fans a chance to save up to $300 off on vacation bookings all season long with promo code CEBLFans. I wonder how our mascots would spend their time on vacation. Book today with Red Tag and save $300.
redtag.ca.
The CEBL Sunday tripleheader continues from Edmonton for a potential playoff preview. The Stingers welcome Isaiah Osborne and the Winnipeg Sea Bears to the Expo Centre for a potential Cal Tire Western Conference playoff preview. Action underway on CBC Gem YouTube and CEBL Plus. Well, the Scarborough Shooting Stars win the Eastern Conference battle between them and the Brampton Honey Badgers this afternoon, 99-95 your final. Miles Powell electric, Frank Mitchell, you can't say enough. Just an all-around great effort from a team that has so much depth and, again, flexes that Eastern Conference muscle.
Yeah, I said don't be complacent if you're Scarborough going into this game. It's human nature almost to let up a little bit when you've won so many games, when you have such a lead in the Eastern Conference. This was an impressive win. You know, as Miles Powell said in the postgame, they're missing a lot of their starting lineup, missing a guy like Charles Bediako and Sims and all these guys. And to pull out this win when you were down all game, it does show their resiliency. It shows the character of this team. It was a really impressive win from Scarborough again.
And what about Brampton? They had a great effort down the stretch here, but didn't quite get the shots they wanted.
No, they should be disappointed. I mean, to lose 2 times in a row to Scarborough, you have a packed building. To have, you know, Powell do the post-game interview with the towels on your home court, it can't feel good. And I think they lost this game in target time when Scarborough went up 97-95, and it seemed like Brampton got a little bit nervous after leading all game. You see Keon Ambrose Hilton take a 3. That's not his shot. Then you see Trenton Flowers take a really deep 3 almost from the midway court. At that point, those were just 2 bad shots that you can't have at that point in the game, and that's what happens.
Final score, 99-95. The Shooting Stars go on a 13-5 run in target score time to pick up their league best 14th victory of the season. 14-2 are the Shooting Stars. 8-7 are the Brampton Honey Badgers. For my partner, Oren Weisfeld, our sideline, Francisca Opong, I'm Mapanomi, saying so long and thanks for choosing the Canadian Elite Basketball League.
Knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way, knock 'em out the way. With your head top, time for some action.